Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing great, and in today's video we are going to discuss paper 1 in Progression Exam 2024. All right, the first question here says to you, the diagram shows a quadrilateral with the exterior angles marked as follows. All right, so this is a quadrilateral, so it has four exterior angles. I got one over here is 100, and this is the second, here is the third, the fourth is missing. So because it's a quadrilateral, it has four sides, four interior angles, four exterior angles. Three of them are over here. We must know that the sum of exterior equals 360. So it is 360 minus the 3 that we have, which is 300, equals 60 degrees. This is the missing exterior angle. X is 60. Here are some calculations. They want you to answer is positive. You're going to find that it is -8 divided by -4. And you're going to find that it's -3 all squared. Well, the answer is negative, is going to be here, negative 12 divided by -3. Here is the positive, here is the negative. The term-to-term rule of a sequence is square and then add 2. The first term of the sequence is 3. So if the first term is 3, we need to square it to find the next term. So 3 squared is 9. 9 then add 2 is going to give you 11. Question number 4 here says to you draw a ring around the number that is rational. Rational, you're going to find the square root of 4 because it gives you a 2. So it is this one. Here they wanted to show that the area of the trapezium is smaller than the area of the square. So area of the trapezium, it is base 1 plus base 2, or whatever you call it. You can call it a plus b, whatever. Multiplied by the height divided by 2. Base 1 plus base 2 is actually going to give you 18 plus 4, which is 22. But multiplying this by the height, which is 9, then you divide by 2 is going to give you exactly 99 centimeters squared. While the area of the square equals s squared, which is 10 squared, which is 100 centimeters squared. So now you showed me, or you showed them, that the area of the square is larger than the area of the trapezium as they requested. In this one over here, you need to solve this inequality. Solving this inequality, let me write it. You send the positive 4 to the other side, -4, and also to this side, -4, to let x be on its own, or by itself. So x is greater than 9 minus 4 equals 5, and 12 minus 4 equals 8. So x is somewhere in between. So that's why they're saying write down two possible values of x. It is 6 or 7. And do not provide a decimal. You can't. Why, mister? Why can't I say it is 5.5? It is between 5 and 8. Because they said that x is an integer, which shows that it is a whole number. Here are the equations of some straight lines, straight line graphs. The gradient is positive. First, to talk about the gradient and the y-intercept, you must make sure that the y is the subject. Done, 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 done. Y is the subject already. So you need to find here positive gradient and y-intercept is 0. Here, positive gradient, but positive y-intercept as well. It does not go through 0, 0. So that's why they wrote it here. While the next one is negative gradient. -2 is a negative gradient. And the 0, 0 passes through 0, 0 because the y-intercept is 0. So it is y equals -2x. It has negative gradient and it goes through 0, 0 because the y-intercept is 0. Positive gradient, y equals 2x. And I put it here in front of the passes through 0, 0 because the y-intercept is 0. The last one, it is positive gradient. Where is it? So, 1 second. The last one, it is negative gradient. and it does not pass through 0, 0. Why? Because the y-intercept is 5. So it passes through 0, 5, not 0, 0. They want to find the fifth term, so you need to write 5 over 4, or 1.25 is also accepted. Here, 5 squared is 25 minus 11 is going to give you 14. And here, 5 cubed is 125. If you remember the bearing, I must draw north from A. Because they said from A, so draw north from A. Done, mister. I drew north from A. Then you must calculate the bearing or measure the bearing clockwise. They wanted the bearing of B, so I'm going to stop over here. Oh, mister, this is 180 degrees exactly. This is 180 degrees exactly. All right, while from B, so if you go up north from B, and it is bearing off C, so here is C, right? It is this. All right, so of B of C from B is this. So as we agreed, it's from B, so north from B, clockwise until you reach the side of C, the side that directs you to C. So here, is this 180 less than 180 or more? It is less than 180. The last one over here, let me just refresh this. The last one over here, this saying to you, bearing of D, but from B. So it is this way. We agreed from B, so I'm going to draw the north. Yeah, mister, it is already drawn. Yes, exactly. You're right. You don't need to draw the north. It's already drawn. So clockwise from B. Oh, what is this? Definitely greater than 180. It is a reflex angle. 3.5, you must just try to focus in order to find out that 3.5 is the same as 7 over 2. 3.5, it is what divided by 2? It is the half of 7. That's why they told you here, what over 2 is 3.5? It is 7 over 2. Then keep, as if you're saying 7 over 2 divided by 7 over 8. Keep, done. Change the division into multiplication, done. Flip 7 over 8 becomes 8 over 7. Now you can multiply and then simplify, or whatever. What I usually prefer is that I simplify first. The 7 with the 7, bye-bye, and the 8 with the 2. This divided by 2 is 1. This divided by 2 is 4. So it's just a 4 over 1, which is a 4. The data shows the marks scored by students in a test, and they're requesting from you to explain why the class intervals chosen by Jamila are not the most appropriate. You can just say that the two intervals of 20, 39 and 80, 99 are not needed there. Why? Because they have zeros. You can write it because their frequency is 0. Is 0. Someone else might say the intervals are too wide. Okay? All right. They are requesting from you to draw or to put data here to make it a better table. So the first thing is to make it better, ignore this. We don't need this. We don't need to include this. So all the data that we need is from 40 until 79. And what you need to do is that you include, we can break it into smaller intervals, not that wide. So you can say it is from 40 until 49. And then here from 50 until 59. and from 60 to 69, and then 70 to 79. Someone else might break it into fives. That is also accepted. You can break it into fives. So here, the most important thing is that you do not repeat a number. It is not like the inequality. The inequality would say it is greater than, for example, 40, less than or equal to 50. Then you say here it is greater than 50 and then less than or equal to 60. Yes, this is accepted in inequalities because in the first one you're saying that the 50 is included, while in the second one you're saying that the 50 is not included. But here, no. If it is not included, don't write it. It is from 40 until 49. The 50 is not there, don't write it. The 50 is included over here. So just to make sure that you don't repeat the 50s, you don't repeat the end or the beginning of each interval. This is the right answer. Then you look for the frequency. The 40 until 49, how many times did it happen? You look for that, and you just put the frequency over here. You must fill and complete this table. You're going to find the frequencies of these intervals. You're going to find them also in the mark scheme. A to the power of 3 all to the power of 4 is a to the power of 12. We multiply the powers. And this one over here, you're going to divide. You can say 4n over 2 plus 6 over 2. So it is just a 2n plus 3 over 2. You divide the 4n and you divide the 6 by 2. Write this in standard form. It is 5, but multiply by 10 to the power of 4. And this one an ordinary number as an ordinary number, which means in full. So you can find it also written for you this way in full. So you're going to write here 0.00407. This way I moved it 3 digits to the left because this is the same as dividing by 10 to the power of 3. Here to find the yellow, we need to add them all up. 1 minus the rest. So 1 minus 0.15, 0.05, 0.35. You're going to find that it is 1 minus 0.55. This is the total, which is 0.45. So the yellow is 0.45. But this is actually not the question. The question is that they want the probability it is red or yellow. Focus on the word or. It is extremely important that you notice this or because or means addition. If it was and, then it's multiplication. But no, they're saying here or, I'm going to add them up. So it's 0.15 plus yellow is 0.45 equals 0.60, which is just 0.6. In this question, I'm going to copy it to the application so that I get all the math equipment. They want you to inscribe an octagon. They want an octagon. So for the octagon, you must have a diameter and the perpendicular bisector of that diameter. So you need 2 diameters to be drawn, just like inscribing a square. Mister, it is already done for me. Look at that. They already gave me 4 touching points with the circumference. I'm going to use them. So they have saved me some time. Perfect. All right, but I need 4 more touching points. And they want a regular octagon. So you need to bisect each angle. How do I bisect? You open your compasses this way. You need to open it a little bit less than more than the half or whatever for the bisecting an angle. So I'm bisecting the angle, arc here, and here is also another arc. 3 are enough. You don't need the 4th. And you're going to see why in a minute. Then you're going to stand on this arc. Not literally stand. I mean, you put the compass on this arc, and then you draw over here another arc, but inside. And here you go and you do another arc over here. and another arc there. And the last one, the last part, which is another arc here. You need to memorize these steps. Understand it definitely, but also you need to remember them. All right, good. Then what do I do next, mister? Just to connect this through the center. This is, mister, this is the bisector. Yes, but continue until the end. But make sure that you're passing through the center. And this also is the same. But make sure that you're passing also through the center until the end. Now I have 8 diameters. I mean 4 diameters, but 8 touching points. 4 diameters, 8 touching points. Now you can easily draw or inscribe your octagon. Here you go. Now this is 7 sides, 8 sides. That's it. I inscribed a regular octagon. Next, Naomi measures the mass of each of 50 bananas. Draw a frequency polygon. The frequency polygon, you must have the midpoint. So the first thing that you need to write over here is midpoint. And here I have 105, the midpoint of the class interval. Here 115, 125, 135, 145. And then what do? I plot the midpoint with the frequency. So 105 until 12. All right, look at this here. They didn't actually give me the scale of the frequency. So I need to write over here frequency first. And then I use the scale. Some of you might choose to use them in twos. Fine, accepted. Some others might choose to do it in fives. Also accepted. So if you do over here in fives, 10, 15, 20, 25, that is enough, mister. We need only maximum until 17. So I have here, why did we choose in fives? Because actually each small square inside is 1, 2, 3, 4, then the 5. So some of you might choose the 5 to be here, accepted. So now they're saying 105 until 12. So 105 is here. This is the 105. Up until 12 is here. And then I got 115 until 15, 115 until 15. 125 until 17, 125 until 17. 135 until 4, 135 until 4. 145 until 2, 145 until 2 is here. After that, what are we supposed to do? I use my ruler and I connect them this way. Here is the first with the second, then the third, then here is the fourth, and at the last point. This is my frequency polygon. I'm gonna erase it. Draw a ring. Oh, I guess that I need to get this back. All right, draw a ring around the class interval that contains the median mass. No, we don't need to. The median. The median here, I need to do what? What is the total? 50. So we agreed we do 50 plus 1 divided by 2 gives you 51 over 2 is 25.5, right? Then I check, mister, the frequency. Here, 12. Have you passed or reached 25.5? Nope, I haven't. Then you add 12 and 15 gives you 27. Have you passed or reached 25.5? Yes, I've passed it. So the median is here. This is the class interval where the median is. 110, 120. Here, you should notice that this will cancel this. So as if you're saying 10 to the power of 3 times 10 to the power of negative 3 times 29. Mr. 10 to the power of 3 times 10 to the power of negative 3 is 10 to the power of 0, which is just 1. Bye-bye. 1 times 29 is just 29. Don't go there and say, oh, 10 to the power of 3 multiplied by 29 is going to give me 29,000. 29,000 to multiply by 10 to the power of negative 3 means divided by 1,000, so it's going to be 29. You didn't need to do all of that. If you did it, fine, but you didn't actually need to do all of that. You just needed to notice that this would cancel this. So 29 only is left. The values of A, B, and C are A equals 10, B equals 7, C equals 4. Tick to show if the value of each of these expressions is equal to 64 or not equal to 64. Well, if you say here A is 10 and C is 4, so it is 6 times 14, right? 10 times 14 is going to give you 80 something, so it is not equal to 64. And this one over here, A is 10, so it is 100. 100 plus 28, so it's 128 over 2. This is exactly 64. Here is going to be 6 minus, my 6 looks like a B, I don't know why. 6 minus 2 multiplied by 7, which is 14, but all is squared. 2 times 7 is 14, so here is going to be negative 8 squared, which is positive 64. The last one, 7 squared, which is 49, plus c squared, which is 16, minus 1 is going to give you exactly, you're going to find that it is 50. 65 minus 1 is also 64, which is this one. This question, here you must make sure that you finish the brackets first. So 3/4 minus 1.5 and 1/3, you need to multiply, then add. So multiply this, then add this. Here, 2 times 1 is 2, and 1 is going to be 3. So 3/2. Plus, we're going to do the same thing to turn it into an improper fraction. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So 4/3. I still haven't finished. Mr. Can I also convert this into an improper fraction? Yes, fine. So it's going to be 13/4 minus. I still haven't finished the brackets, so you must make the denominators the same. Here is going to be 6, here is going to be 6, so this is going to be 9, this is going to be 8. I just multiply this by 2 up and down, by 3 up and, by 3 up and down, by 2 up and down. So 13/4 minus, okay, now you're going to find what? You're going to find that it is 17/6. 17/6. Now you need to make the denominators also again the same. Someone could have noticed from the very beginning, Mr. Can I convert them all from the very beginning into a 12? Yes, you can actually. So from the very beginning, you make this 12, the 212, and the 312, and the 412. Definitely, you need to change the numerators accordingly. But yes, that would have been faster. That would have been easier. That would have been smarter. All right. So anyway, over here, I'm going to multiply this by 3, multiply this by 3, multiply this by 2, multiply this by 2. So it is 39/12 minus 34/12 equals 5/12, which is the final answer. Here, adding the indices is going to give you 6 to the power of 4, and minusing the indices, so it's for minus -2. It's not 4 minus 2. No, it is 4 minus -2, which is 4 plus 2, which is 6. And this one is 1/9 to the power of 2. Yes, mister, but they want it as 9 to the power of what? When you flip it, which means you get the reciprocal, it means 9 to the power of -2. This one, you should know that this one is 110, so the corresponding to it is also 110. They are equal because they are corresponding. Now I can get the x is 70 degrees. Oh, mister, they wanted the y. Why did you go that far? Well, in order to find the y, I need to find the angles inside this triangle, which one of them is x minus 40. So x minus 40 is actually going to be 70 minus 40. I knew right now that x is 70. So 70 minus 40 is 30 degrees. And what about this angle? Angles on a straight line, mister. So this is 70 degrees. 70 and 30 is 100. What is left right now is 80 degrees. So y is 80 degrees. All right, this shape here, they're telling you triangle J is reflected in the line y equals 3. So I'm going to need to draw y equals 3 here. 1 second. The line y equals 3 is here. This is my mirror line. So the middle line over here is going to be what? I'm going to reflect through it. Where is the pen? Here it is. I'm going to reflect through it the what? This triangle, triangle J. So let's look at this vertex. If you reflect it through this middle line, it is going to come over here, right? So if this is A, the image of it is going to be A dash. And if this is B, where is it going to be? The image of it. Go one up, no, one up. Here is the image of B. And here is, if this is C, then where is the image of C? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Here is the image of C. So connect the three images with each other. Connecting the three images, gonna look this way. Here you go. This is the image. All right. So this gives you triangle what? They told you this is triangle K. Triangle J is reflected in the line y equals 3 to give triangle K. So what we found right now is triangle K. I can erase the labeling right now. This is triangle K. All right. They told you that triangle K is then rotated 90 degrees, 90 degrees anti-clockwise, center 0, 2 to give triangle L. Well, I'm gonna just pause the video for a second until I get this ready for you, because you will need here a tracing paper in order to do this. All right, now if you would like to rotate this shape, they said to you rotated 90 degrees anti-clockwise about center 0, 2, which is shape K. The first thing that you need to do is to get your tracing paper and you start to tracing. So we're imagine right now that what I'm holding right now, this rectangular shape that has a triangle on it, this is your tracing paper. So here is my tracing paper. And right now I traced the shape on the tracing paper. Done? Yes, done. What am I supposed to do? Putting the tracing paper over here over it and holding your pen and putting it over 0, 2, which is the center of rotation. Putting your pencil over 0, 2, and then you rotate it 90 degrees anti-clockwise. I will not be able to do this 100% on the graph, but you will be able to do it putting your pen on 0, 2, fixing it over there on 0, 2, and then you rotate the paper 90 degrees, which is instead of making it landscape this way, I'm going to make it anti-clockwise this way. That's it. You're going to find that the new position is here, which is this place exactly. And then don't forget to label it L. They said to you, label it L to give triangle L. Here, that's it. Okay? Next question. Just exactly like this one over here. Look at that, because mine might not be that clear. 1 second. Like this one here. Look at this. This is J, this is K, and the mark scheme is showing you over here that it must start over here. Once you put You fix your pen or your pencil over the 0, 2, and you rotate it 90 degrees anti-clockwise. You're going to find it giving you these coordinates. Trace it, give it letter L. Next, tick to show if each statement is true or false. So this one over here, you're going to say it's 2 plus, I'm not going to add first. I need to multiply first. 3 multiplied by 6 is 18. So 2 plus 18 is 20, not 30. False. While this one over here is the cube root of 8 times 3 is 24 plus 3, which is the cube root of 27 equals 3, not 9. So false. The diagram shows the graph of the line 2x plus 3y equals k. Draw a ring around the value of k. Mister, k is actually, I first need, because I need to use this straight line graph, I need to make sure that y is the subject. So 3y equals k minus 2x. Y is still not the subject. Y equals k, k minus 2x all is over 3. Now I know that the y-intercept is what? K over 3, right? Y-intercept is k over 3. What is k, mister? Look at the graph. What is the y-intercept? Oh, mister, the y-intercept is 4. Look, it crossed the y-axis at 4. So I'm going to remove y-intercept and write 4 equals k over 3. What is k? What divided by 3 gives you 4? Send the 3 instead of division, send their multiplication. K is 12, mister. This one here, it is paper 1, so you must calculate it by yourself. 0.8 squared, so 0.8 multiplied by 0.8, ignore the decimal points, it's 64, but I have 2 decimal places, so it is 0.064. This is the first one, 0.8 squared. Okay, good. Then I need to do what, mister? I need to do here, so I'm going to write this 0.64 minus 0.01 over negative 0.09 equals, minusing this from that is going to give you 0.63 over negative 0.09. Mister, we took in unit 3 that we cannot multiply, we cannot divide unless the denominator is a whole number. If the denominator is a decimal, we cannot start. So to make it a whole number, I'm going to multiply this by 100, multiply this also by 100. So it gives you 63 over negative 9. Mister, I know that the answer is definitely negative because positive divided by negative is negative. But what is 63 divided by 9? 63 divided by 9 is 7. That's it. They told you here that y equals 4x minus 2. So we need to substitute 3y equals 7x plus 14. We need to take the y and write it over here. So I'm going to write 3y equals 7x plus 14. Substituting y with 4x minus 2, this is what they said to you. They told you y is 4x minus 2. So it's 3 multiplied by 4x minus 2 equals 7x plus 14. Then now start expanding. So it is 12x minus 6 equals 7x plus 14. Collect the like terms. Get the 7x to the other side. Gives you 5x. Because it's going to be 12x minus 7x equals 14 plus 6. The negative 6 is going to come to the 14, positive 6. So equals 20. Now I found that x equals 4. Since y equals 4x minus 2 and x is 4, so y equals 4 times 4, which is 16 minus 2. So y equals 14. Mister, can I make sure if I'm right or wrong? Can I double check my answer? Yes, you can double check it. How? Take the y, and they told you y equals 4x minus 2. Remove x right now and say, if x is 4, will y be 14? Yes, y equals 4 times 4 is 16 minus 2. So y equals 14. And even if you go to the other one over here and you say 3 times y, which is 3 times 14, is going to give you exactly 42. Is it equal to 7 times 4, which is 28? 28 plus 14 is going to give you exactly also 42. So I double checked my answer. It is worth it for marks. Chen and Hassan each play a game. They can each either win or lose or draw the game. The outcome of Chen's game is independent of the outcome of Hassan's game. Find the probability that Chen and Hassan both lose their games. What is lose here? Probability of losing is 0.6. Winning is 0.3. Drawing is 0.1. Losing in the rest, 0.6. It is 1 minus these two. Winning is 0.5. Drawing is 0.2. So losing in the rest, 0.3. So find the probability that Chen and Hassan both lose their games. This both you will never find it unless it's independent. All right, anyway, not to confuse you, we said both means and since we're saying and, then we're going to use multiplication. So 0.6 multiplied 0.3 equals 0.18. Oh, that's it. We finished the exam. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you in another video.